Hey everyone, today I'm back in Lost Ark to kind of talk about our next patch that we are getting next week and what I kind of prepared for that and what my plans are for the new patch as well. So for those that don't know, Brelshaza raid is coming out next week, which is going to be bringing in a bunch of new stuff, especially new materials, and that is kind of important and why I am doing the things that I am going to be explaining in this video. So when it comes down to Brelshaza herself, it's going to be a new Legion raid starting at 1490, and just like the old Argos raid, it has multiple item level requirements to go through the different gates. So it starts at 1490 for gate 1 and 2, then we have 1500 for gate 3 and 4, and then we have 1520 for 5 and 6. Now when it comes down to my characters, I have my Arcanist right here at 1512.5, and the reason why she's sitting over here at this item level is because this is going to make it so that I can get one Brelshaza piece from clearing gate 1 and 2 plus the first time clear box, and then I can enhance that 3 times to hit the 1520 item level that is required for gate 5 and 6. Now ideally what you want to do is you want to enhance 2 of your armor pieces to 22, which I've done right here, and then also your weapon to 22, because that's going to be the biggest damage increase that you can get. But because your weapon is a very big investment, if you do end up going to pity, then this is going to be incredibly expensive. So that is why I decided to get my panties instead to 22, and then when I get my Brelshaza piece, I'll use my gloves, transform those into the new gear, and then I'll enhance those 3 times. Now ideally, what I'm hoping is going to happen is I can use my fused leapstones over here. I'll have around like 150-200 of them when I convert them into the new one. Kind of hoping that I'll get lucky and get a free hone using these fused leapstones. And then I need to get 2 more taps with the new materials that I'll be able to get. For those that don't know, the new materials are going to be transferable from the old ones in a 5-to-1 ratio. So these leapstones right here, I have almost 1,000 of them. These are going to be transformed into like 200 of the new leapstones, and they're also all going to be bound, so it doesn't matter if you save a bunch of leapstones, you won't be able to sell them if you transfer them into the new one, so that's something to keep in mind as well. But basically this will give me around 200 leapstones. I also have a bunch of materials right here in my storage, which is going to be another 200 leapstones, so I'm hoping that 400 of them, give or take, because of course I'll be getting more of them on day 1 as well by doing the Chaos Dungeons and the Guardian Raid. I'm going to be hoping that that is going to be enough to get me to 1520. I also saved up a bunch of other stuff right here, but this is also preparation for when Artist and Aeromancer come out, because I am looking forward to gearing up those classes as well. Now, outside of just the new Guardian Crystals, Destruction Crystals, Leap Stones, we're also going to be getting new Oreha Fusion. So right now we have these, the basic ones. There's going to be a new one for that as well. So that is why I've also went ahead and I gathered a bunch of the relic materials over here for the excavation, because that is going to be the most efficient. I'm going to be gathering more throughout the week. And that's basically what I'll be using to craft the new fusion material as well that needs to be crafted. Now in terms of my classes themselves, or like my characters I guess you could say, I'm basically going to be getting rid of all of my rest bonuses today. So my Arcanist is done already, and then my 3 other alts that I have at 1490, they're going to be doing their dailies as well today, and then I'm just going to let them sit for 5 days so that they cap out on their rest bonuses. And the reason for that is very simple. Right now we can get materials that we can transfer 5-to-1 to the new materials, because both of your Guardians and your Destruction Stones, you'll be able to transfer those into the new materials as well. The crafted basic Oreha Fusion material, you can't transfer that one, so it's only Guardians, Destructions and Leap Stones that you can transfer into the new materials. Now, because right now it's 5-to-1, it's not going to be as efficient as if I just get full rest bonus and then just do the new Chaos Dungeons and the new Guardian Raid, because that's going to be like a 2-to-1 conversion, or at least that's kind of how I'm thinking about it, because of course 2 Chaos Dungeon runs turn into 1 rest bonus. So it's kind of like a 2-into-1 conversion, because we'll be able to do the new Chaos Dungeon and the new Guardian Raid. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. That is why I'm going to be letting my rest bonus fill up for these 4 characters. If you're wondering why my sorceress is a little bit higher, is because I just had some bound or I have fusion materials on her, so I just kind of didn't want those to go to waste, so that's why I got 1 extra enhancement on her. But basically the plan is going to be my Arcanist going to be doing gate 1 through 6 on week 1, getting her to 1520, and then my other 3 1490 alts, they're just going to be chilling, maybe doing Brelshaza Gate 1 and 2, and they're just going to be doing Gate 1 and 2 for the foreseeable future as well. I don't plan on pushing them higher. They're just going to be slowly accumulating bound materials and upgrading from the 1490 gear to the 1510 gear, I think it is going to be, when you do the gear transfer thing to the new Brelshaza gear, because you do get free item levels when you get your Brelshaza gear and you just transfer over the enhancements. So that is something that I'll be planning to do. They're just there to make money for me right now, just doing the Chaos Dungeons, the Guardian Raids, and then Brelshaza Gate 1 and 2 when I am able to do that, because I imagine that I'll be spending a fair amount of time progging the entire raid on my Arcanist first, because Gate 1 and 2 look kinda easy. 3, 4, 5, and 6 will probably take a little bit longer, so that is why I am not really too fussed if I can't do Gate 1 and 2 of Brelshaza on all 3 of my alts. So they're basically there to just farm some Chaos Dungeons for me right now. Of course, all of the materials that I'll be getting from them as well, I'm just going to be selling once my Arcanist is 1520, because in the past I never really capitalized on any of the money-making moments that we kind of had in the game, and of course a soft reset is going to be an amazing time for you to make money as well, especially by selling those bound leap stones. People will be wanting to get their new plus 25 weapons as well, so they'll be buying those as well. That will be the week after Brelshaza releases, because on week 1 you can't get a new weapon yet. You actually need 2 weeks of clears before you can buy a weapon. So then the second week, weapon crystals should be going up quite a bit as well. But on the first week, leap stones, guardian crystals, those should all sell quite a bit. So I'm planning to just sell all of my stuff that I do not need. Probably buy a bunch of blue crystals as well, because I'm kind of running low on those, and hopefully the exchange goes down a bit as well, with a lot of people spending their gold trying to get the new enhancements, trying to get to Gate 5 and 6 of Brelshaza and stuff like that. So those are kind of my plans. Arcanist, gonna try and get her to 1520 for a full clear of the raid. My 3 alts, they're just going to be chilling and getting some money for me by selling the new materials and funneling to my Arcanist, but once she doesn't need them anymore, I'm just going to be selling all the materials that I am gaining, and then I'm just kind of going to go from there. So those are my plans for the new patch. Maybe you can do something like that as well if you're looking to make money, or if you're looking to do Gate 5 and 6 as well. You can kind of know what my strategy for it is, because I think this is going to be the most feasible way of doing it. Getting 3 items to plus 22 is kind of expensive, but you only will need 3 enhancements on the new piece of gear that you get, and you can hopefully get 1, maybe even 2 of them with those free hones as well, if you've saved up a fair amount of materials of that. And then of course, if you want to do the raid, 5 engravings is pretty much expected. Level 7 gems as well, and then, well, I have the Light of Salvation finished now at 18 Piece Awakening, so I'm going to be using that instead of Lost Windcliff. That's kind of what I'm going to be bringing to my week 1 raid. So that's pretty much everything I want to cover in this video. If you have any more questions about stuff that I have done or why I'm doing certain things, then feel free to leave a comment down below. But with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.